today I've brought you here to have a bit of a chat about something that I think a lot of artists would like to know more about. Perhaps some are confused about, perhaps some may not even know about, and that's the topic of monetisation. YouTube monetisation is one of the more obvious forms of it. What can you tell us about that?
So YouTube monetisation is a way for artists to make money off other people's content, essentially. So the way that it works is that if you record a song and you use your distributor such as GYROstream to deliver that song to YouTube Content ID, what YouTube does is they'll actually analyse that music and they'll create a fingerprint for it. And then when someone else uses that song in a video, and it doesn't have to be a music video, it could be a cat video, a skateboard video, you know, a video of your kids, it doesn't really matter. If they use any piece of that music, your music in that video, then YouTube will recognise that. It'll recognise the fingerprint, and it will basically switch on some advertising for that video, and some of that revenue then goes back to you as the creator of the work. So it's essentially a way of, you know, allowing your music to be monetised in kind of new and creative ways, essentially.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, so is that something that occurs across other platforms as well? Is YouTube the only one that does that?
So YouTube have been doing it for a little while, but what we're finally starting to see is there's some other platforms getting on board with that. So the newest one that's really brand new that's developing at the moment is Facebook. So it's quite exciting because now that they're such, they're so huge in the video realm and stuff like that, they've now reached out to a lot of the majors and independent labels. And they've agreed a lot of deals with them to use music, to start monetising the music on their platform as well, which is really exciting for independent musicians. So it works in very much a similar way. For user-generated content that's uploaded with your music, then you'll start getting a royalty or generating income based on that. The other thing that's really exciting that Facebook's doing is they're actually integrating music into some of their own apps. So they're starting to develop things like a lip sync app, and they're actually going to have a music library. So you'll be able to actually search for your music within their library and use that across a whole variety of different apps. And then if you use your song, then you'll get paid for that as well. So we're getting into the stage where people are starting to do some really creative things around music and applications and that sort of stuff. It's not just listening to music on your phone through Spotify and stuff like that. You can actually use music in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's really mind-blowing. I think that's super exciting and, giving people even more incentive to go viral, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And so with regards to the YouTube monetization, is that something that you have to actually sign up for, or is it, how does it work when you're actually generating that revenue?
Yeah, so for most distributors, including us, you sign up for it. The process, it's not an automatic opt-in sort of thing. So essentially, yes. The answer is yes. You have to opt in. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Cool. And are there other platforms other than Facebook is coming, which is really exciting. Obviously, YouTube is already happening. Are there other platforms where your content can generate revenue?
There's a few out there at the moment that are doing some interesting things in that space. There's a company called Dubset who, we deliver to them, and if people use your music in remixes throughout their platform, then that generates money for the content owner. There's an app apparently all the kids are using called Musical.ly these days, which again can generate royalties on the music that goes through that app. So again, there's lots of different ways where you can actually monetize your music outside of what people consider normal streaming or normal downloads and stuff like that.
That's fantastic. It's really good information. Thank you. So I guess if we could sum up what we've just discussed, if there was one kind of takeaway point from what we've just talked about, what would be the sort of nugget of wisdom?
I think artists just need to be aware that there's a lot of sort of non-standard ways of generating some income out of their music. So always be looking for those services that are a little bit non-standard. Think about your YouTube monetization policy, your Facebook monetization policy, all those things. I think anywhere where your music is being used for a commercial purpose, then the content owner, the musician, should get paid for it. So get involved.
Absolutely, get involved. I agree. Cool. Well, look, thanks so much for being here. I'm just going to throw a fun question at you. Today's question is going to be, if you could create a famous musician version of yourself, whose instrumental skills would you utilise?
I'm a bass player by trade, but I would have to say Nuno Betancourt.
He's pretty amazing. I thought you were actually, for some reason, I thought you were going to say the Primus guy for a minute.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not sure his name. I don't know exactly who you mean, though. But yeah, no, on the guitar, he's a shredder. He's pretty amazing.
Yeah. No, Nuno Betancourt is 100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much, Andy. It's been a pleasure to have you here today, and thanks for all that amazing information.
No worries. Thank you.